Wanderers. Today I have headed out the door. It is Friday the 13th. I'm not superstitious, so not worried about traveling on Friday the 13th. But I have a long day of driving ahead of me. Set the cruise here and get to the right speed. Okay, so I've got a long day of driving ahead of me. I wanted to check in with you guys before I get on the freeway, actually tollway. I'm going from the suburbs of Denver all the way to Ridgecrest, North Carolina. Not in one day, don't worry. I am today heading to St. Louis. Actually, today's going to be my longest drive. It's going to be about 12 hours on the road, and whatever stops I take. Normally, most people in their right minds would, of course, take a plane to North Carolina. However, I love road trips. I also don't like wearing masks all day long. I have to do that for work every day, so I figured, okay, have a little freedom, get on the road, blast some music, listen to some books, and see the sights between here and Asheville area of North Carolina. Today will be the most boring drive. That's why I'm covering the most distance. If you've ever driven through Kansas, there's a whole lot of prairie, whole lot of farmland. Same thing with eastern Colorado, actually. Get over to the correct lane here. And so there's not, today should be a very short video, which is good because I won't have much time to edit at the end of the day too. So I'm going to try to get these up every day and keep you posted, give you a little info about each area that I'm going through. Not true travel log style, but a little bit of that, and maybe some of my thoughts and musings along the way. So join me for the ride. I'm about to get on the turnpike and or the tollway, and so I'll see you there. Bye. Here we are. I am on I-70. We are heading east. I don't know if you can see I don't think you can see in the distance. In the rearview mirror, I can just barely see the mountains, which are snow-capped at this point. Just a little bit of background on me and my family. I actually moved here in 2006. So it's been 14 years. Actually, my goodness, 14 years last week, or 2 weeks ago. And I moved out here in a little more background. I was recently divorced, had a 7-year-old daughter. She had just turned 7 years old right before we moved, and my ex-wife decided that she wanted to move back here. So I could have fought it in court, and it would have been ugly and expensive, and I had a 50-50 chance of winning. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to move. I've got to be near my daughter, who is now 21, living in Colorado, and wonderful person. If you look a couple videos back, or actually probably last video, because I didn't upload the last video I made. A little secret, yes. Anyway, I wanted to be near my daughter, so I moved out here. So I bought a really old minivan, and could not afford to rent a truck. So I loaded it up like Beverly Hillbillies, except for I didn't have Granny in a rocking chair on the back. But I had stuff, I had it crammed up. I was way up against the steering wheel because I had so much junk stuffed into it, and had stuff on the roof and bikes hanging off the back. And I got exactly 230 miles into my trip and hit through a rod. Those of you who are not mechanically inclined, basically the engine blew up. I had a 4-day forced vacation in Somerset, Pennsylvania, and while a local mechanic that my tow driver knew found a used engine and stuck it in there for very little money. I'm very thankful for that, and got me back on the road. I left Halloween night. I drove through over on that side of the highway early in the morning. Got to the condo I had rented about 6 a.m. or so, and just crashed. And that van, by the time I got out here, the engine ran fine, but one of the wheels was literally about to fall off. I know many people say that Kansas is a beautiful state, and honestly, it's not bad. I wouldn't mind living in Kansas. A little secret, I grew up in the city, grew up in the suburbs of Fresno and San Francisco, but then when I was 16, much like my first book, Impossible Summer, or Perryville Summer, depending upon which title you go by, I was yanked out of that suburban lifestyle and put into a very rural lifestyle in Virginia. Virginia is not flat like this. It's very different, but I really got a taste for small town life, and it's good. I went back to visit my sister. Well, I mean, I visit her all the time. She actually lives in a city now, but back when she lived in rural Southwest Virginia, Galax to be exact. She lived out in the country, and when her husband passed away several years ago, I remember going back to visit her for that, going back for the funeral, and passed by a sign that said Benefit Gospel Sing, and I thought, I'm home. I got there, and just the outpouring of the community for my sister. I mean, she had food for months. All of her neighbors and all of her friends from church and stuff, everybody was looking after her. So that's the wonderful thing about country life. Note on is this, if the question is, if you were to ask me the question, is this the first time I've been crazy enough to drive across the country, and the answer is no, not even close. I've driven across the country several times. I've driven through this very stretch several times. I don't make a habit of it. I don't do it every year or anything like that, but I just love the open road. I like listening to books, and when I'm not on the books, for a while there, I was jamming out to music. I've got quite a bit downloaded to my iPad. Got my iPad hooked up to the stereo so I can control it from the screen there. Decided to take a little side trip, and not going to spend long here, but this little town looks interesting. So this is Abilene, Kansas. Very picturesque little town. And let's see, tourism information. I'm not going to stop and well, I might stop and get out and walk a little bit, but I'm not going to go into a tourism place or anything. Cool looking antique place. This must be downtown. Let's see how fast am I going? Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see. I guess my speedometer is out of range for the camera. It actually shines on the dashboard for me, or on the windshield for me. And that looks like hit Eisenhower Center to the left. We'll go ahead and turn left here on 3rd. See what we can see. This place is obviously closed. Oh, there's the Dickinson County Historical Museum. And that's where the carousel is. So, that's Dickinson County Historical Society. With some old stuff outside and of course an indoor museum. Wish I had the time to explore it, but I don't. It's not open today anywhere, or yeah, it is, okay. And then there's some historic trains over here, it looks like. Something you may or may not know about me. You probably, if you've seen any of my videos from within my my writing space, my man cave as I call it, you'll notice there's a model railroad in there. It's not gotten very far in development, and it's actually kind of covered with junk right now. But I love trains, and so this to me is totally cool. A little historical town, and Abilene and Smoky Valley Railroad, and so it's really cool. I like it. All right, hey there. Made it to the hotel. Got a really good deal on this room. It's in a major brand hotel. I'm not going to say which one. I better turn away from that in case it has a brand. But I'm not real. I mean, it's certainly well worth what I paid for because it's dirt cheap. But I am required by the company I work for to go to extra sanitizing steps just to make sure that everything's good and clean. And so, you know, if I want to go back to work, and I'm an honest person, so I'm not going to go back to work and say I did all the sanitizing steps when I didn't. So if I want to go straight back to work without having to have a COVID test or quarantine, then I need to do those steps to sanitize. So I did. I got these wipes. I brought them and wiped down any surface that I thought I was going to touch. I won't say it came out filthy, but it did come out dirty. Like there was a nice little seal on the room saying it was sanitized, but they didn't sanitize everything because there was a lot of stuff that wasn't touched. So the drive went really well. I didn't videotape anymore on the road tonight because I didn't feel like it was safe to have the camera on at night, especially coming into St. Louis area where there's a lot of traffic. Or a little more traffic than some of the other areas, and a lot of lanes, and me trying to figure out where I was going because I've never been to this hotel before. So I waited till I came in here, and that's about it.